Spitwads, it seems too often that we prioritize productivity and above everything else and above your mental health as well, unfortunately. But check out Talkspace. Like, even for Olympic-level athletes like Michael Phelps, reaching out for support is a sign of courage. It is not weakness. I have reached out myself, and it literally saved my life. Reaching out, finding people to talk to, and Talkspace is helping you do that easier than ever. Whether you're an athlete, a rec league player, or someone just having a hard day, Talkspace is ready to help you start feeling better with a single message. You can set goals with your Talkspace therapist to help ensure your progression, develop tools, techniques, help you build your resilience so you can cope in difficult times. And Talkspace offers individual therapy as well as couples therapy and medication prescription services. Talkspace works around your schedule, so you don't have an excuse of, well, I don't have time for it. They help you make the time. You can send and receive unlimited messages 24/7 with your dedicated therapist in the app. Schedule live video sessions with your licensed therapist from anywhere. If you feel like your mental health has been stuck on the sidelines, Talkspace is here to help. Match with a licensed therapist when you go to Talkspace.com. Get $100 off your first month with the promo code BALLERS. That's $100 off when you use the code BALLERS at Talkspace.com. On today's Spit Hits, we dive deep. One of my favorite subjects, time travel, because on the surface, it's real easy, and you just go back and you fix some things. But it is not that easy. Don't let Andy's oversimplification of it fool you. We also draft the best comedy movies of all time. I guarantee you're going to enjoy the episode. Stick around, have some laughs, tell a friend at the end of the show. Say, "Hi, listen to this great show. They got hits. They got spit hits." Here we go.
What happens when three buffoons give life advice, explore unrealistic situations, and give random topics more thought than they probably deserve? It's the Spitballers Podcast with Andy, Mike, and Jason.
Get up, da-da-da-da-da!
You cut that off way too soon, man. I was in it.
I should have kept going.
I was in the seat. We had lifted off. The wheels were about to go up.
I should have kept going.
And then
I didn't have any air left.
Yeah.
Welcome into the Spitballers Podcast. Andy, Mike, and Jason back again. SpitballersPod.com. The Twitter is at SpitballersPod. Welcome in. It's going to be a doozy.
Oh, it's going to be a doozy.
What was that?
That was the
Are you
reason.
passing gas?
What's going to be the doozy?
Yeah, are you?
I'll tell you what's going to be the doozy.
Goodness, check
So
his
this
pants.
is
He took a dump.
I took a dump with my mouth. This is going to be
South
an
Park.
excellent show because we had
Life advice on the show.
Huge lunch right before this, and I'm ready to pass out in word vomit as my brain has disintegrated into mush.
Well, that's the best time to give life advice.
You're darn right it is.
Would you rather on the show? We've got a draft.
They
as
say
usual.
you're never more honest than when you're full of
nachos,
of rice and beans and quesadillas.
and so
and
you'll
cheese
get
crisps.
the honest version of the show. Thanks to everybody out there subscribing, reviewing, supporting. We appreciate you, all the spitwads out there listening. We appreciate all of your ideas in the comments on youtube.com/spitballers if you're
Especially
watching.
the good ones.
Yeah, mostly the good ones.
Yes.
The bad ones,
No,
we
we appreciate them.
Yeah, they're fine.
We
but-
just do better.
right. I mean, they could be better, but they're fine.
Like when you read the idea and you go, "That's a good idea."
Yeah.
Leave it there.
Do a
Oh,
bunch
yeah,
of
yeah,
those.
yeah.
Leave
Yeah,
it
We
there.
need draft ideas. All sorts of draft ideas in the comments on Twitter. Send them across. We'll do them. We'll do the drafts on the show. I promise.
Oftentimes we've done them.
Yes, we have. All right, let's get started.
Would you rather?
All right, Kiko from Twitter writes in. He says, would you rather have yellow teeth and minty fresh breath or pearly white teeth and horrendous breath?
Wow. That's a conundrum because you can always, I mean, like, if you have bad breath, you've got chronic bad breath, that's a plight, that's something you don't want to live with.
honestly,
You can chew gum, though.
you can do that, but I would say that the majority of people with the horrendous breath are living in bliss. They have no idea
It
that
does
their breath
seem
is
like
bad.
Clearly, because
They do something about it.
Yeah, they wouldn't have bad breath if they knew. And you can't tell people.
Well, to be fair, I have bad breath right now, and I'm doing nothing about it.
But you know.
Yeah, that's why I'm keeping my distance.
I just don't know how you tell a person with bad breath that they have bad breath.
It's
Oh, what do you? My wife tells me all the time.
No,
well, that's
no,
different.
no,
That's different.
no.
Wives can tell I tell my children to tell me when my breath is bad. But a stranger, a friend, a coworker, that's
a stranger.
a stranger, that'd be rough. Excuse me, sir. Your breath is terrible.
How bad? Like the rest of your day is ruined.
I'm just going through. I'm in the grocery store grabbing my cantaloupe. Excuse me, sir.
Some
what can I
elderly
help you out with?
gentleman.
Your breath is rancid. I'll be like, what?
I mean, because I don't think clearly these people have been offered gum and mints their whole life, and they have not picked up on the fact that there's some stank.
Is that how you? That's how you tell someone that
Yes,
they've got
that's
bad breath.
the polite
That's self-preservation as well.
Right.
Although
Now, do you offer them, or do you say, or do you ask?
You pull out your stick of gum and always put it in your mouth right near them.
I was just gonna say,
so that they ask.
do you pull out the gum and say, "Oh, do you want a piece of gum?" And they say yes, and then you don't even take one; you just put it back in your pocket.
What about when you pull out the gum and you're like, "Oh, you want a piece of gum?" And they're like, "No, I'm good."
There you
You're
go.
like,
I mean,
okay.
I think it's fair to say here you don't get to circumvent your horrendous breath with some gum chewing. You got bad breath or you got nice teeth.
It's like when you go in the bathroom and you're like, "Wow, it smells like a rosy turd in here." Like because someone goes to the bathroom
A rosy
and they
turd?
try to cover it up with some potpourri.
Okay.
It doesn't smell like potpourri.
No, it smells like
It
poop,
smells like-
poop mixed with potpourri.
There's a turd in the flower bed
Okay, I've never heard that referred to as a rosy turd.
because no one has ever uttered that phrase until a genius like me came through.
You notice that sometimes your house, like you might have like a bad bag of trash, right, in the house.
Yes.
But you don't know because everybody in the house
Has
is
adapted.
in the house.
Right.
And then somebody leaves, they go to the store, they go to work, they come back from work, they walk in the door and they go, "Oh my gosh, it's terrible in here." But everybody else in the house, "Really? I didn't know that." That's life for the bad breath guy. They don't
Yeah.
know.
They don't know.
Yeah, you're
And
unaware.
maybe their friends and family don't even know anymore.
And here's the worst thing for the bad breath guy or gal is that they have experienced it in other people too. It's not like they're the
Right.
bad breath person, so they have no idea what it's like.
And that's what makes telling them so important yet difficult.
Right.
Now, I used to go to an orthodontist, got braces as a kid. I would go in to get my braces adjusted, right? They tighten them up, they put new bands on them, whatever they do. And
torture you.
They torture you. Well, the torture was so much worse for me because I would always get the same nurse. And the same nurse would always have just finished eating something and mixed in with her terrible breath. And I had to sit there while she's working in my mouth with awful breath as like a 10, 11-year-old.
I feel like if you are an assistant working at a dentist office or an orthodontist office and you have bad breath, that's a fireable offense. Like your entire job is oral hygiene.
She didn't just have bad breath. She had bad breath. She would always eat before she saw me, and so she'd be like cleaning her mouth out with like the smacks, and she'd always have a cigarette break right before.
Oh,
That is not a joke.
no.
Yes. Eventually, I had
the 80s.
Eventually, I had my mom call the dentist office and request some other nurse to do.
Wow.
My-
What did she give a reason?
Yeah, I think they had to have a little argument about. She was bad at her job too. On the top of it all, she'd always poke me and prod me. But yeah, bad breath.
So
That's so embarrassing. You can't be like close to anyone. I'll take the yellow teeth and I'll just keep my mouth shut.
But if you've got the white teeth, you've also got the bliss. You
The what?
the bliss, the ignorance. You don't know that you've got bad breath.
No, in
necessarily.
this scenario, you know.
So I know
Yes.
that. So I'm just terrified to talk to anybody.
You
Yeah.
know you have horrific breath. You have pearly whites. You have a movie star smile.
It's kind of like right now. Your teeth are wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and breath.
And
Your
I can
teeth
smell
are
it over here.
perfect.
I guess then I'll take the yellow teeth. with the fresh minty breath.
I will take the
The
bad
pirate's life for you.
Wait, what are you taking?
breath. I'm taking the bad breath.
Oh, you want the nice teeth too?
Yes.
All right.
The nice thing is for this job, we're on YouTube. They can't smell my breath. They can see the pearly whites.
Do you guys? This might sound strange, so I'll try to explain it the best I can. But like, you'll be watching a movie, and you're in the comfort of your own home. You got the air set. You got it it's 75 in your house. You are living the life, and you're watching these people who are in just horrible places when it comes to weather.
Do you feel it?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I cannot embody these characters. I can't get into the scene because I'm like, wow, it's
you're too comfortable.
Because it's so nice in my house. I don't feel their
do you
pain
turn your
coming
heat
through.
way up and you watch
So I've never felt their pain because I'm not
Because
there.
you're a
I'm not
sociopath.
in-
We got it.
but I can empathize. I can empathize with what the character's going through without
traditionally
feeling cold myself.
What we do, Mike, is we go, man, I remember that time in my life I was really hot, and that must be what they feel like.
Or alternatively, if I've never been in whatever crazy situation they are, I use what I call my imagination, and I say, what would it be like to see what this character's going through? I have not been to Mars.
I'm far
but when
too comfortable to enjoy this movie.
So perhaps that's what I say. It's hard to explain.
I'm not stranded on Mars.
But
I don't relate.
Or so they'll be like, let's say they're in the jungle, and you'll romanticize what they're doing because you are comfortable. You're not imagining actually being on that location going, oh, wow, the humidity there must be 95%. It's 95 degrees, except it looks awesome.
You are right. We do not understand.
Okay. All right.
I think it's the movie's job to tell us all those issues. If they're not having issues, if I'm able to romanticize their plight in this jungle, it's because the movie has done a bad job realizing that plight.
Well, I hope I've ruined movies, and you guys start doing this from now on.
I'm going to keep an eye out, and I'm going to see. I think my imagination will cover this problem.
Would you rather have a 1-minute conversation with your past self or your future self?
Wow, 1 minute.
1 minute. 1 minute. Yes, 1 minute's conversation.
My future self.
Well, see, the future self, you're getting information from them. The past self, you're telling information to them. That's the way I would view it, right? Your past self, you want to give them 1 minute worth of information that fixes your future.
Hold on. Now we're in a time travel paradox.
This doesn't make sense because they're both the same thing.
No, because they're in alternate realities, Jason.
Okay.
If you talk to your past self, that is a different timeline that has moved on. You are no longer a part
You're
of
making
it.
the argument that as long as you talk to your past self, you're talking to your future self.
100%.
Because they'll have the
argument.
information of the past.
Because if I go and talk to my past self, then I now remember that.
It's like Bill and
no,
Ted.
it's not. You're wrong.
That's the way that my reality would work.
But
I am choosing both.
You can't go back in the past. Let's say you go in the past. You don't get any information about what happens later. There's no way to get information from
I'm
that.
taking the Back to the Future approach here. The Back to the Future
I'm so
approach that says
confused.
when I go back in the future, or back to the past,
Right.
Yeah.
when I go back there and I do something, the picture disappears because that never happened anymore. You know what I mean?
But you will still never be able to find out what happens tomorrow by going and talking to the past. So if your future self...
but you will know that this conversation, you'll know everything that has already happened in the conversation.
For sure.
If you're talking to your past self, because now you're actually you have already lived through it, and you're just reliving the conversation from the other side of the story.
I wish you guys could see what's going on in my brain right now. It's this empty void of confusion.
Borland.
Time travel is very
It's
confusing.
not. No, you're overcomplicated. This is not that confusing, right?
No.
No. Here's the thing. You go to the future, and you could say, hey, what happens? How are my kids? How am I doing? What's going on? What's the lotto number from last week? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can go to the past and say, hey, in a couple years, don't date that girl. In a couple years, don't make that decision.
So then when I get back to the present, did that change?
Theoretically, yes. You could potentially save something bad from happening, and yes, your new reality is...
That's what I'm saying, though, is if you tell your past self to do something, like avoid this relationship, the second you say it, it's now gone from your memories because you've never actually lived
You created
through
an
it.
alternate timeline, though.
So then you have to talk to your future self.
Yeah, you're helping the past self. It's not going to do any good for you. Like you're helping a different version of yourself that doesn't actually exist.
Man. Okay, well now I know.
This question could easily be interpreted. Much more simply. Would you rather let me ask you this. Would you rather know what's going to happen or be able to
or
fix
know
something?
what's already
no.
happened.
Or would you rather know what's going to happen
Okay.
or be able to fix something that already happened?
But
It's
if
the
you
same question.
No, because if you fix it, then it never actually happened, and you can't fix it.
Right.
You don't have a regret, a mistake, something in your past that you wish you did differently?
But if I did it different, then I wouldn't have it.
Exactly. Me and Jason are
I'm
on
with
the same
you now,
page
Mike.
here.
We're talking to the future self, and I'm living my new best life forward.
I understand what you're trying to say, but you're defeating the argument of like, would you rather fix something that's happened or would you rather just know something is going to happen?
Yeah.
And that could just be a question of like, hey, have you made a giant mistake you wish you could undo?
Sure. Well, I'm perfect.
Like,
so
is there
I'm good.
any sweet advice you'd give your former self that you didn't have when you were 20?
What would be that?
You
What would
talked
be
on
your
an-
minute conversation in the past,
Yeah.
Mike? What would you?
Like, don't put those Jinkos on?
No, that was a great decision.
Yeah, Mike lives with
At the
no
time.
regrets.
Any tattoos you wish you didn't get?
Probably my first one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But then when you tell, don't get this tattoo, maybe that self took this as
It could
a
be
way
even
bigger-
worse.
Now you come to the future, you have none. You didn't get any. You
Did
thought
you
this
get
was
that Bieber tattoo removed or no?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Living that Justin life.
What would you say to your past self then, Jay? Do you not know?
Oh man, what would I say to my past self?
That you can say publicly.
What would I say? See, that's the other easy part about this conversation, right? Because if
But
you
you only
say,
got a minute.
if you say you've got 1 minute, go to the future. I know all I have
What
to do
would
is
you ask
listen.
in the what would you say though? You got 1 minute in the future. What information do you really want?
I would say, well, first of all, it would be obvious how old I am at least, right?
You would ask how old you are?
Yeah, I'd say, how old are you? You'd say, I'm 62. I'd be like, yes, I'm going skydiving tomorrow.
Because you think you're
I can't
impenetrable now?
That's not true.
Oh, that's unless
travel.
What are you saying to me that the vase wouldn't have broke if she never said that the vase broke? You going
That's
Matrix
exactly what I'm
conversation?
saying.
All right, we got to move on to the next question
All right,
before I
how-
implode.
Have your favorite movie or TV show wait, what is this question?
Would
Would
you
you
rather-
rather have your favorite movie or TV show ruined?
So your favorite? I think it's. Would you rather have your favorite movie ruined or
Right.
your favorite TV show ruined? Movie, 100%.
Movie?
100%.
Because it's an isolated.
Yes, it's one thing. Like, and I'll give the spoiler on this.
Ah!
No, my favorite movie is Braveheart. The statute of limitations is well over for Braveheart. You've had 20 years. Like, he dies. Like, okay, that stinks.
Ah!
But I was not invested.
You're also. It's also like.
It's also historical.
Based on like it's.
right.
It's Hollywooded up, but it's still based off of a actual historical figure.
right.
No, don't tell me that.
But the thing is when you have a
They're
TV
all dead.
show,
All historical figures are dead.
when you have a TV show that's ruined, you could be 7 years into the story.
Are you the kind of people that really hate spoilers?
Oh,
Because there are some people. I just talked to somebody at the gym the other day. They go, "You can't spoil anything for me. I look for spoilers." Before they see the movie, they go out and they try to figure out what happens in the movie.
why experience it?
That's
then?
their personality.
What? Why would they want to do that?
They don't care. They just want more information about it.
How do you not care?
It's Mike.
It's called just
people
watch the
do
movie
watch
twice.
Well, no, hold on. People do watch trailers for a reason. They kind of want to be enticed. This person would like the trailer to tell them everything because they want to be super enticed.
Right, but the trailer for Sixth Sense wasn't Bruce Willis going, ooh.
But this person
I'm
would
really dead.
this person wished
Like-
that it was.
Like, that movie would not have been nearly as successful if that was right there in the trailer.
Right.
Agreed.
If everybody knew that going in, it would never have been a hit at all.
Hold on. There are people that want to know the ending.
Yes.
This is blowing my mind
Yeah.
right now.
They're serial killers.
They're
They're all serial killers.
There is something wrong if you want to know the ending. I stand by this.
Shall we dish out some advice?
Yes. Spitwads, when it comes to fitness, I understand. You put it off. Look, the holidays are coming up. The New Year's here. I'll just reset then. You know I'll start on Monday. You don't have to do that. You can start right now, and you can start with our friends over at Peloton. Peloton delivers a workout experience that's exciting. You actually look forward to it. I have had a Peloton bike for over a year now. I look forward to riding. Like it's actually a delight. I look forward to it because I know I'm going to have a great experience. The music is always on point. I just did a ride with my man Dennis, and we went through some 80s bangers. It's fun. You're synced up to the music. The playlists are always great. And then when you're done, you just feel good. When I ride, it doesn't feel like a chore. And they have a bunch of other things. They have classes for cycling. They have classes for strength, yoga, bar, meditation, and more. And you're not working out alone. If you're riding with me, I'm throwing out those high fives. And they got interest groups like, I don't know, maybe look for #Footballers, and maybe you'll ride with me, Mike. Check this out. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more. Try Peloton classes free for the rest of the year. New members only. Visit onepeloton.com/app to learn more. Terms apply. Peloton, when your workout is a joy, it's a joy to work out.
Spitballers to the rescue.
All right, Jim writes in from the website, needs some life advice, and who better to ask, honestly, than Jason, Mike, myself. We dish it out. It's always perfect advice. If you follow it, you will be able to go into the past or future.
One and the same, my friend.
I need some life advice, and you are the only three I trust. I am a dentist. I know, I'm sorry. I am a human just like everyone else.
There's nothing wrong with being a dentist.
I'm polite, so I don't use the bathroom in the office because it's small and the smell would be very noticeable. Instead, I walk down the hall to the public restroom. The other day, I finished my business and walked out to wash my hands, only to see the man whose mouth I am about to put my fingers into.
What?
It was wildly awkward. Now what do I do?
Well, first of all, you're not washing your hands. You're scrubbing in. At this point, this is full-on doctor scrub into the elbows. You're rolling up the sleeves, and you have to be holding your hands vertically. Your arms have to be held out vertically to show how important this is to you. And you start scrubbing. You're taking a bath in this bathroom. That's step one.
I agree that you need to make a very vigorous effort with your washing. You then need to follow it up with basically a secondary wash at the office that you carry on into the room. You need to be like wiping down with some antiseptic or something, and then you're coming in the room and you're clearly once again evidencing that you're drying your hands right now.
What if he goes the other way?
Or gloves.
What if he goes the other way and he just lets a little piece of chocolate melt right on his finger?
He's a bad dentist, Mike.
Man,
Gotcha.
you're opening up a whole new world for me, though. Like, I've never thought that I could possibly eat chocolate and have my dental work done at the same time.
Well, I'm just inferring that the dentist did not wash his hands.
No, I know what you're inferring. I'm moving on from the fact that, I mean, maybe if it's a close friend of yours, that's a joke you play on him. Wait,
you guys love pranks.
I like a prank.
This is the one that's too far.
This one's.
He's a professional. He could lose his tooth license.
Yeah, like your tooth license. He's licensed to tooth.
Licensed to tooth.
Oh man, I'm so good at toothing.
You didn't know they have to get licensed in each type of tooth. Molars.
Oh man,
canines, bicuspids.
That's the tough one.
Yeah. What are these? What are your front ones? What are those
What
called?
are those?
Are those just
front?
Those are just
your front teeth.
basics?
Are those your bunnies? That's what I call.
Are your front
bunny teeth?
Borland, do you know what your front teeth are called? I'm sure you do.
Called?
I don't know.
Why don't you effort that over there? We'll come back to you.
I will call them.
Please look up your dental handbook.
Cuspids. They are not bi.
Oh, they're not bi?
There's only
one
singular.
One cusp to them?
Are those the incisors?
Ooh.
No, incisors are your canine. Those are your sharp teeth.
Yeah.
That's my meat teeth.
That's right.
The front teeth between your canines are called incisors.
I take it back.
Those are your incisors.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. That's a really intense name for a flat, dull tooth.
Yeah.
It's the incisor.
I think what happened is when these first were getting named, that the guy said it wrong. It was those are the insiders. They're inside but he probably had the cotton in his mouth for these are the insiders. And so they're the incisors.
And is everything reversed? Everything on the bottom is the same name as the top?
Yeah, those are the outsizers now.
Oh, okay.
So you've got the
Ooh,
incisors
stay golden.
and the outsizers.
In this situation, I don't know what you do other than scrub up, put the gloves on.
You got to go.
And then go, sorry about that poop in there.
You go back into the bathroom with the guy, and you just prove it. Wash your hands again.
Yeah.
Wait.
I want to show you something. Turn on
Yes.
the water.
All right.
Use the soap.
This doesn't really matter, right? Because he's going to wear gloves.
Dentists
Right?
don't normally wear gloves.
Yes, they do.
What?
No, they don't.
What
Your
kind of
dentist
do
doesn't
you
wear
have?
gloves?
They don't?
Your dentist if your
They
dentist
do?
doesn't wear
Holy
gloves,
crap.
you've got a
No,
problem.
what dentist are you going to?
I'm pretty sure my wife just visited your dentist.
Hold on.
And he
hold
wore
on.
gloves?
I'm going to
Does
have
your-
to ask her now.
Does your dentist only accept cash?
Yeah.
Do you go to his home to
Yeah.
have the dental
How did
work
you guys
done?
know all this stuff?
And there's free roaming cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sounds about
my
right.
question was
And
going
his
to
wife is the dental hygienist, right?
Yes.
Isn't that normal?
be, yeah, very normal.
Your teeth go fall
My
out.
teeth are in
I'm going to
terrible.
contact my wife immediately.
But
But if you're wearing gloves,
does it bother
does
you though?
it
Let's
matter?
say you put your
Yes, it
self
still
in the other
matters.
situation. Mike, you're the guy that's caught in there. You're in there. You know he just dropped one. He's washing up. Are you very comfortable in that chair?
I'm fine.
All right. Dan from the website. I've been invited over to a friend's house for dinner. The food is good, but
Good.
could really use some extra spice. What is the appropriate amount of spices to ask for? Salt and pepper are okay, but what if I wanted more spices? Is that okay? This is a very needy, entitled individual.
Yeah.
Did you bring a spice belt? Utility belt?
I got my paprika.
I got my garlic salt.
Oh man, I mean, this person is really into. If you go to a place
You can't handle
Where
just
you-
salt and pepper?
where it is not spiced enough,
What else would you ask for?
I mean-
I literally don't know because I'm not a
Cholula?
well, yeah,
yeah.
like
Besides a hot sauce or a ketchup, that's a condiment. You don't say I
like
need
a,
extra.
like a crushed red pepper or something like that.
Sure.
no, I'm
He
so I'm
busts
conf-
out his own
I
crushed
guess
red
I'm
pepper.
confused. I'm confused here.
Pulls out a
on,
cutting board.
Like, is this spices or is this it? It needed more spice. Like, it needed to be spicy.
That's because that's easy. That's hot sauce.
Well,
Yeah,
I
that's-
don't think it's that one, Jay, because he talks about salt and pepper being okay. But if I wanted more spices, so more things like salt and pepper.
Excuse me, do you have an herb garden? May I visit it?
I need some human, please.
Look, eat what they cook.
Yes, eat what they cook.
You're fine. You've been invited to a friend's house.
I like
literally
the food,
said-
but it's, the food is good.
The food is good.
So this
Not
is
great. I only eat great food.
this is like this has to be a friend he has dinner over there every week, right? And every week he's left wanting.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. It's Dan.
Damn.
It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be
all right.
fine.
You're fine. Like, I mean, I know my wife and we like to over flavor foods, and it is really annoying when we go to the bland house. It's like, oh, okay, these mashed potatoes are like, where's the butter? More butter, more salt, more
Now,
everything.
just to be clear, when you say you like to overflavor foods, what you mean is put butter in different foods in bigger quantities.
larger amounts of butter. Yes, that's that's
That
what I
is
just
flavor.
said.
Butter
That's what I
and
said,
mayonnaise.
Have you been to a house where you're a guest and they're serving foods and they're just really all no chance you would touch these foods in your own context? Like you would never eat that vegetable, you would never eat that main dish, you would never eat that.
None of it.
None of it. Have you been in a situation where you've had a very uncomfortable because you kind of got to gag it down at that
Right.
point or leave a bunch on your plate?
Thankfully, no.
I was going to say it's such a blessing and a curse to be able to eat all of the things.
See, I had a situation where the first time I met my wife's parents, she had told them wrong information about the foods I like, and I had two foods that I was forced to eat them to make a good first impression. So it's an awkward situation. And
What
the
foods,
key there
what
is
was it?
it was like Brussels sprouts and sweet potatoes.
Which one of those two
Brussels
is okay.
sprouts is great.
Yes.
But I wasn't
Sweet
a fan
potatoes
of
are
either
garbage.
at the time, and I just had to like choke it down.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm gonna say that if
Did you ask for ranch?
I should have.
That's what I.
Yeah.
Got any ranch?
Got any more
sprouts and ranch are great.
spices? Can I get some more spices, please? Dan, no one likes you. All right, Chris from the website.
This is about a 4-star.
The food is good.
Do you mind if I cook next time?
The food's good.
Yeah, that's right. You cook, Dan. Thank you for your question.
All right, Chris says, recently my son got in trouble at school for throwing a piece of pizza on a windowsill. I want to be the parent.
What?
I want to be a parent that the parent and punish him, but at the same time, it's pretty funny. What do you guys do when you feel like you need to discipline your kid, but what they did is actually really, really funny?
Oh, man. Oh, this speaks to my heart because my number one goal as a parent is to make my kids funny. Like, that is probably way too high on my priority list.
Can you make somebody funny?
Yeah, we've trained them up. We've definitely trained them up. They understand all the art of sarcasm.
Really? Did you invite someone over to do that, or is it?
My wife. It's all been my wife.
All right.
And so,
Well done.
but this actually brings a memory back for me. I remember I got in trouble once in grade school. It was in it was either 7th or 8th grade, and I got sent to the principal's office.
Ooh.
One time. And it was for writing inappropriate things in the yearbooks of some fellow female friends of mine.
All right.
And it wasn't like the end of the world stuff. And these were actual, like, I wouldn't write this in people I didn't know, but like I was really close with these people.
Sure.
I was like, hey, call me this summer.
Sure. No.
1-800-2
Right,
words.
Right. But if you were the father,
Right.
reading
Yes.
your daughter's yearbook, going, what is
Yep.
happening at this school?
Yeah, the kids did not have a problem with it. It was the kids' parents that didn't like it so much. And so they contacted the principal. Principal pulls me out. I come to the tune where I had to wait in the principal's office for my mother to come from work to pick me up, and I was suspended for a couple days. So this was the biggest thing that ever
suspended you?
That's almost as bad as any punishment
Right.
you can get in grade school.
They suspended you.
Yes, for a couple days, and this was easily the biggest I had ever been in trouble. But here's the thing, and I will remember this forever. It was so amazing. In the principal's office, my mother made me feel extremely small, and she was the parent, and she was going to take control of the situation. And we got in the car, and she drove me to Tony Roma's for some ribs, and we had a whole play date, and it was a blast, and I had so much fun on that suspension, and I never got in trouble because she knew, like, okay, these were friends. I know that you are friends with them, and it was like, okay, it's inappropriate. You should not have done that, but like, come on. This is like, you probably shouldn't throw your pizza on a windowsill.
How'd that make you feel?
But come on, it's pretty funny.
How'd that make you feel?
Oh, it was one of those bonding moments with my mother that was like, it helped our relationship.
I have the same type of story. I've always remembered when your parent is your biggest advocate and they don't take things too seriously. Because I made like a videotape. You guys know from early Spitballers show, I was pretty good with the recording.
Yes.
The recording
You were
tape.
a high-tech man.
And I made a poor choice. I was mad at a friend. Okay, I was a young lad, had a couple other friends over. We were all mad at this other friend, so we made a fake radio show on a tape. And we made fun of that friend, and we made fun of that friend's mom on the tape. Oh. We did impressions, and it was real funny to us.
Not good.
And what, I kid you not, what happened is we obviously reconciled with the other friend in like a day. So we think it's fine to tell him what we did and play him the tape. And lo and behold, the next day, that mom showed up at our house.
I think I remember.
And it was so embarrassing for me. I felt so bad. And then I played the tape for my dad. And he may or may not have laughed a lot. A lot. And we felt really bad, and we were sorry, genuinely sorry. But having him not be super angry and upset and having him go to bat for you like you did.
Now,
and he destroyed the tape
This
for us.
also very much depends on the child. Please, parents, understand this. Not all of our kids are good, okay? Because I remember being in grade school, and there was like this just real bad apple. And he was always getting to the principal's office, and every time the parents were like, my kid would never. And so they never, ever, ever corrected that kid's
because they didn't believe they were actually
They did not.
guilty.
Yeah, 100%. So know your kid. If they're
Well,
good.
if this kid's going to throw pizza on windowsills the rest of his life, you might need to have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
Also, give me a slice.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any punishment handed down, Chris, it's your son does not know the true value of pizza.
Yeah, you ground him from pizza for a month. You don't get pizza for a month.
Don't get so
That's a little
cruel
harsh.
and
Yeah,
unusual.
seriously,
Too
man.
much. Too much. I felt bad when I said it. Can
Because
we edit that out?
You ground your
Borland,
kid.
can we gotta edit that out? That was too far.
You
for
ground
this
your kid
podcast.
from pizza. You know who else you just grounded from pizza?
Oh no, sir! I'm ordering me some pizza. I'm eating it right in front of him. Just nom.
Then you're gonna
Bet
have
you
all
wish
that-
you had some of this.
You're gonna have extra pizza. I guess that's not a problem for you. Sorry.
Yes.
Whoops,
Oh,
you got
no.
extra pizza. All right, let's draft. Hey, Spitwads. Want to change your career? Well, there's never been a better time to become a programmer. And with Codecademy, you can learn to code on your own terms. In fact, I was just talking to a family friend about a giant career switch. The guy's a personal trainer. He's tired of that life.
Okay.
He wants to be in tech, and he wants to be in programming, and he wants to be in this emerging technology world that's fast changing, and he wants to get out of the gym.
You can still get in.
And this is what Codecademy is all about. In fact, over 50 million people already know that Codecademy is the best way to learn to code. That's because Codecademy not only teaches you job-ready coding skills, but also helps you build unique projects for your portfolio. You can earn certificates and even prep for technical interviews. I've signed my son up for Codecademy. This is an awesome technology. It helps practically, right? Not just reading something, but you're practically learning, and you do it at your own pace. And you can join over 50 million people learning to code with Codecademy and see where coding can take you. Get 15% off your Codecademy Pro membership when you go to codecademy.com and use the promo code Spitballers. That's the promo code Spitballers at codecademy.com to get 15% off Codecademy Pro, the best way to learn to code. codecademy.com, promo code Spitballers.
The Spitballers Draft.
All right, we are returning to the world of TV and movies, drafting the best comedy movies of all time. Now, I have a feeling that these movies will probably fit the context of our own ages in life and the movies that we
Yes,
loved growing
they will.
up, not some list of older movies that we didn't grow up in.
I have an infinite amount of comedy movies that I love.
Now, I have the first pick in this draft. And for me, there's only one movie that jumped into my mind as kind of like just an all-time great and a classic and one that can be rewatched and that you die laughing at. And that's Dumb and Dumber, so that's what I'm going to take number one. I'm going to take Dumb and Dumber number one.
I'm very happy to hear that because I would have had to consider it knowing that it would not make it through Jason's bookend picks, and then I would have to gamble the pick that I actually wanted to go with.
That's fine. So I'm Dumb and Dumber number one.
It's a solid pick. I'm going to go with what I think is the funniest movie, the most rewatchable comedy. Stars the one and the only Ron Burgundy. I will take Anchorman with my first pick.
Certainly.
I don't know if there is a single line in that movie that you can't find a place in your life to quote it.
No, Ron Burgundy is fantastic. Will Ferrell is one of the GOATs, and that movie would not have come back to you.
Al Borland, did you see Dumb and Dumber when you were a wee lad?
He probably hasn't.
Yes.
Okay, and Brooksy, did you just not? Okay, because I love Dumb and Dumber, and to us, our age group, it's like this is one of the best comedies of all time. But I feel like once my kids are of age, I'm like, I got to show you this hilarious movie.
Nope, it will
I feel
hold
like
up. I promise.
I am very concerned it won't.
I will stake everything I own on it holding up. I promise you it will.
All
right. I mean,
That's some very strong words from a man who didn't even pick it.
Well, I couldn't pick it. Am I allowed to pick it now?
No, no. I'm
will
just saying.
take Dumb and Dumber.
You have historically been a disparager of others' picks, and
I don't disparage great picks. I
Thank
just
you.
disparage
Thank
bad picks, which just so happens to be all the time around me. Okay, so obviously Ace Ventura, that's locked and loaded because the first two picks.
So Carrie is pulling down two of our
Two-thirds.
top 3 comedies of all time.
Yes, it would have been Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber. I would have had a real hard time picking between those two. So the fact that you made the choice a little bit easy. I guess I'm at the turn here, so it would have been great if they both got back to me. I would have gone Anchorman as well. That was next on my list.
Excellent.
So we're doing pretty well here. Spitwads, go watch these movies. Enjoy yourself. So now
I think this is where it gets far more interesting.
Yes, it gets far more interesting, much more difficult here. I've got a list of different types.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go a little deeper here. This movie does not get enough credit. I don't think it was quite our age group's massive runaway hit the way that some of the Jim Carrey and Will Ferrell movies were. But it's genuinely one of the funniest movies I have ever watched. I watched it again a couple weeks ago, and I forgot how out loud funny it was. Sparked a whole trilogy, but I'm taking the first Hangover movie. The Hangover is unbelievably
You're going
funny.
with The Hangover?
Yes, it is. It is unbelievably funny.
It really is. I guess you're right, man. I think that the two movies after have
it kind of tarnished.
soiled the legacy of how good that movie actually
I'm
was.
not taking the series. I'm taking the first one.
Mike, that means it's up to you.
Right.
I knew, Jason, you got to be thrilled having the third pick in the draft and getting your pride and joy, Ace Ventura, the one that you live.
I mean, look, my main league, my fantasy football team name is the Ventura Bravehearts because they're the two best movies of all time.
All right.
Ace Ventura and Braveheart.
You ever
Al
watch them
Borland,
back to back?
Have you ever seen either of those movies? Ace Ventura or Braveheart, the two best movies of all time. Have you seen either?
I have not.
You are a loser.
Genuine question. Have you ever been inside of like a movie video store, like a Blockbuster from the days of old?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Doubt it.
What does it look like?
What color?
It to me.
Blue and
color?
yellow.
Oh, dang it. All right.
They were always
so I've got this is trouble for me because there's a duo of movies from a superstar comedian, and picking between this is a real
I know
soap.
exactly what you're
And
talking
and you
about.
realize that I'm in full Sophie's choice over here.
Oh, yeah, because they probably won't get past me.
Well, I'm taking one of them, but which one is actually funnier?
I
know
don't
which
know
one.
the answer
I know
to which
one
one's
for
actually
sure.
funnier.
I mean, without a doubt. And honestly,
Go
I
for it,
should have
Mike.
taken it.
Go for it.
I'm going to take Happy Gilmore.
All right. That was a choice you could make.
Yeah.
So what is your team? Happy Gilmore and what was your
And
first pick?
Anchorman.
Anchorman and Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore, great movie. Obviously, you were considering that or Billy Madison.
That is what I was doing.
I've got two that I need to select. I have Dumb and Dumber as my first pick. Man, I'm going to take Tommy Boy.
Okay.
Tommy Boy is 100% being picked.
Is
That
what
was
you
the
thought I was?
answer to the
Oh,
two movies that I thought
You were thinking Tommy Boy or Black Sheep.
We can throw that out because
Yeah.
look, I like Black Sheep. Black Sheep
it's
is
no
not
Tommy
anywhere
Boy
in
either.
the realm
Yeah,
of
I
this.
agree. It's funnier than remember because it was a letdown from Tommy Boy. But I will just say this: when you brought this up and I wrote Tommy Boy down on my list, I feel like I was not allowed to breathe until after Andy picked. Because I know there's no way it's coming
Tommy
all
Boy's
the
coming
way
back.
I know that, but it's
I've never seen a
devastating.
comedy movie more times than Tommy Boy. At the age I was growing up, when it came out, I watched that movie like once a week for like a year. That's how often I
Right.
What, you call him from a walkie-talkie?
Yeah. Oh, it's
Did I
fantastic.
catch a niner? Dumb and Dumber, Tommy Boy, and one more pick. And this one, it gets harder because I could leave you with the double.
Sure. See what happens.
But what do I think gets back to me? Oh, this is really difficult. All right, I'm going to take Billy Madison. I'll just take it. I don't want you to have
Shoot.
both. And it was so
I
funny.
thought you were going to let it go
so
through.
funny. I'm not going to let it go through.
Which one did you take?
I'm just
I
a little
took
sad
Gilmore.
because
Okay.
I have two others I'd like to take and only get one more pick.
Which one do you think is better, Jay?
Gilmore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
actually
honestly don't
think-
know.
I actually think it's a teeny bit better.
When I was,
But it depends on your personality.
When I was that age, I had we had a group of three of us that were absolute best friends, and the amount of times that together we watched Happy Gilmore. It was like we had a summer where apparently all we did was watch Happy Gilmore.
I'm telling you, as kids, you had lots of time, and you just watched movies over. That's what I'm learning. So I have Dumb and Dumber, Tommy Boy, and Billy Madison. Mike, it's back to you. You have Anchorman, Happy Gilmore,
crap.
and
Yeah, we're riding the struggle bus, my friends, because no one is clearly separating themselves from the top. Oh, I'm really upset that you took Billy Madison, because I think I would have easily won the entire draft if you had let that one drop. I have 3 picks, 3 movies that I really want to pick from, and clearly I only have 2 picks left. So I'm going to take. Sorry, guys. This I'm struggling.
Oh, this is.
I'm struggling
really,
over
really
here,
tough.
and
people are screaming on the other end. Of
they're
the
screaming out
podcast.
their favorite,
screaming out their favorite movie. I have a feeling some of the ones that are older than us are screaming out some older movies.
Yeah, and honestly, there's
some great ones.
There's some
some
older
great
movies
ones
on my list here.
So
I have no idea what Jason's going to take, which is also eating into me. So I will take. I'm gonna.
You're gonna pass.
No, I'm not gonna pass. I'm gonna take my favorite movie, even though I think it's not necessarily the vote getter, but it's what I think is the funniest movie of all time. I will take Airplane.
Oh, okay.
Airplane is on my list and one of the funniest movies of all time.
I just knew that it would, I would have taken it first, but I knew it would fall in the draft.
I'll be honest with you. If you didn't bring up Billy Madison, I probably would have taken Airplane.
Oh,
So,
well, that works.
there you go.
That's on you.
It works out.
So is Airplane really your favorite?
Airplane is the
so-
funniest movie ever made.
It is so knocked down funny at every you make fun of me for the why I like the comedy inside of MASH. That's quick hit over and over and over again. That's the kind of humor in Airplane. It's like every line.
I'll be honest, I've never seen MASH.
Yeah, it's like every single line of Airplane is a joke within a
Yes,
joke.
yes.
And that's what's fun about it. So
Good for you.
That's a great pick. Anchorman, Happy Gilmore, Airplane. I think you have a great team.
Yeah, this is really tough.
You've got 2 picks, Jay.
Yeah, I've got 2 picks, and
If you
it's
somehow take my 2 movies, I will quit the show.
I can't imagine that I would take your 2 movies.
I
here.
can't either. We're a bit different here.
Yeah, we've got different tastes, but I mean, it's so funny because there's so many great movies, but I don't want to take any of them because when I take let me explain it because I see the look on Brooks's face in the back going, the heck does that mean? I don't want to take any because when I select any of them,
You feel like you're insulting the others?
I am deselecting all the others. And it's like, no, that's not.
You can pass.
I can. That would be.
I almost did.
You can go into the vote with Ace Ventura and The Hangover, nothing else.
Ace Ventura and The Hangover. All right, I'm going to take Wedding Crashers. That one is.
You are blowing my mind here.
Yeah,
But
not
no, it's great. But
just not what you expected.
yeah, it's not. I would not expect you to say that's one of the funniest movies of all time.
Yeah, I mean,
He needs his toe dipped into the Adam Sandler waters.
Well, then he needs to pick a
Oh no,
different movie.
I was thinking of Wedding Singer. That's what I was thinking of. My bad.
you know, I do. I see
Believe you
a
meant
giant gap.
Devontae Foreman.
The fact that I don't have like the famous SNL actor movies. You know what I mean? Like we've got Will Ferrell movies, we've got Adam Sandler movies, we've got Chris Farley movies, and mine are. I'm saying in this
There's
already been
plenty of them.
drafted,
right.
and mine are not that
Got your
route.
Dan Aykroyd's.
So the last one is really really tough.
Fletch is there, Jay.
It's honestly super funny movie.
Oh, I just made so many people mad by making fun of Fletch.
Yeah, Fletch is great. What does that look for? You don't like Fletch?
No, I'm waiting for you to make a pick.
It's never going to happen. So continue.
Ace
waiting.
Ventura, The Hangover,
Yes,
Wedding Crashers.
I'm glad it's not just me.
Well, so here's the thing. I've got two movies I'm deciding between, right? One is much more of a comedy movie. The other is, I mean, they're both.
The other one's a
This
romance.
this one's a comedy, but this one's a comedy.
Well, you'll understand because I think I'm going to take it.
All right.
When I first thought of, no, I'm not.
Oh my gosh.
I'm really struggling. The struggle is real.
That's how I felt, and then I just felt the weight of the pressure, and I just picked Airplane.
Okay, I know there's no way either of you would pick it. I know it would. So I'll bring it up at the end. I'm going to take The 40-Year-Old Virgin. I think that movie was extremely funny.
It is, but really?
Yeah, Steve.
Mike's mind is being
Carell.
blown with all of these.
It is.
So and I'll even bring up the movie now. You guys could take it, but you won't. I know you won't. The movie that I thought about taking, almost did, was Elf, because it is.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
It's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Sure.
But I'm not sure. Like, it is clearly a comedy movie. There's no doubt, but it's not. It's a Christmas movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. Mike, you got to pick.
All right, I'm going to take another classic movie.
Oh, you got this one figured out.
Yep, because it just
Please don't take mine.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to take yours.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you would like this movie. I don't take that as an insult, but I'm taking Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
That was my pick.
Was it?
That was
You
my
like?
pick.
Wow.
Oh, I love Monty Python. That specific one.
Yeah.
I mean, that-
I'm not a huge Monty Python
No,
fan,
I think
but
you just
the
won
Holy
the draft.
Grail.
I think you just won the draft.
Oh well, thank you.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail is a powerhouse pick. It is.
Really?
It is probably.
Yes.
It's one of the most quoted movies around my house even today.
I know people love that, and I hear the quotes from it, and the quotes when they're said are funny. But I didn't watch it when I was younger, and I've tried to go back and watch it. You want to talk about not holding up?
No, it's
That's just how they are.
it's
You're saying it was always bad?
no. It's a far different time, and it's like a whole different section of comedy. I mean, it's a different country. The first time I saw it, it was awful. I thought it was the stupidest.
It's like Princess Bride.
It was the
Comedy-wise.
stupidest movie I had ever seen. And
Maybe that should be my pick.
and for some
That's a
reason,
good
I
one.
sat down and we watched it again, and it clicked. It was like, oh, I actually get what's happening in this movie, and it's really,
So you're
really
saying
funny.
I need to watch it again
How many times have you seen it?
once?
Yeah,
I'm taking.
I barely remember.
I'm
You might
taking
need
the
to see it
Princess
again.
Bride.
That's a great pick.
Which I would not have. It didn't even enter my mind until you chose Monty Python as like, oh my gosh. So
is it even classified as a comedy?
Oh, it has to be. Brooks.
Yeah, I think it. I mean,
Brooks, can you give me the nod or no? That's
Brooks-
it's
Brooks
a
can't
comedy.
give you a
I'm
nod.
not saying you can't take
Oh
it.
no, it's a comedy.
I'm just saying it's a little. It's like it's a rom-com, right?
yeah.
It's one of the best movies of all time. It's great. I love it.
Didn't
you just see it?
I've seen it. A few years ago.
Yeah, but like you didn't.
I wasn't part of the cult grow up
Right.
thing, but it held up and it was funny. I was strongly considering Spaceballs.
Spaceballs was the
I was
other
strongly
one.
considering Office Space.
Office Space was good.
so funny. And
Old
then
School was very
Home
funny.
Alone, Mrs. Doubtfire, those came into mind too.
First Super Troopers was very funny.
The
I
only
can't take it because of how bad the second one was.
the only movies on my list when I said I had 3, Spaceballs was the third. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
Yes.
good.
Dark Helmet.
Yes.
Mike, your final team?
So I have Anchorman, Happy Gilmore, Airplane, and Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Jason.
I have Ace Ventura, The Hangover, Wedding Crashers, and 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Now let's be clear. Which Ace Ventura?
Ace Ventura 1, but Ace Ventura
Ace
2
Ventura
is
Pet
just
Detective.
I actually think number 2 is
you know,
funnier.
you know what's funny is
Bumblebee Tuna.
there is no bigger Ace Ventura fan on planet Earth than me. I saw it so many times in the theater that I could say the whole thing. When the second movie was coming out, I was ready to explode and implode at the same time. I was a black hole of excitement, and I was expecting something better.
You're right.
And I was just disappointed, and I didn't like Ace Ventura 2 when it came out. And
Wow.
then as I watched it more,
Same thing happened
when
to
I
me.
watched it more, I'm like, this might be funnier than the original. It is unbelievably perfect and funny. It was so different than the first that I was disappointed at.
The exact same thing happened to me. The movie I've seen in the movie theater more than anything else was Austin Powers, the first one. And I had the exact same thing. The second one came out, incredibly disappointed, but then learned to love it.
All right, my team, Dumb and Dumber, Tommy Boy, Billy Madison, and The Princess Bride.
It's like having a second
Rounding out the
child.
best comedies. Man, I like your team, Mike.
Thank you.
I like your team, Andy.
Oh, thank you.
I like my team as well. Thank you.
Did you guys learn anything on the podcast today? By the way, while you're thinking about that, I want to tell people, go check it out, spitballerspod.com. Send us your questions on Twitter, on YouTube, no matter where you're at. We appreciate all the reviews on Apple Podcasts, and we got some pretty cool stuff planned for the future. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
So for the community,
Yep.
I learned today what a rosy turd is. I had not known that before today.
I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory.
Well, after you said it, honestly, I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
All right, Mike. I don't know what you learned.
I learned that Andy doesn't understand how time travel works.
Yes.
Sure. And I learned that dentists do, in fact, wear gloves.
I hope so. I hope your dentist wears gloves. If he doesn't, ask him to put some gloves on.
Yeah, I might need to bring some. He probably does, and I just didn't remember. All right, that is it.
I'm
Thank
imagining
you.
him putting like wool gloves on now. Goodbye.
Mittens.
Thanks for listening to the Spitballers podcast. To see what other nonsense the guys are up to, check out SpitballersPod.com.